Hi, I'm Varun Nair, Community Growth Marketer at Ampliz, and your host for the Startup Showcase presented by Ampliz. In this show, you can share and experience the startup stories with me. So, today I'm here with another episode for the podcast, partnering for a discussion with a very inspiring entrepreneur who had been building companies from past 30 years, who has single-handedly built companies and has ensured growth. She's also a mentor, motivation speaker, hustler, community builder, great with brands, and goes on. So, she is the founder of the Startups Club, a community created by the entrepreneurs for the entrepreneurs. Let's welcome Miss Salma Moosa on our podcast show. It's been a great honor to have you on the show, Miss Salma.
Thank you so much, Varun. I've seen you grow amazingly, and I'm so happy to see the way you're hosting this. The energy and the power which you bring in, hats off to you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. That's a big compliment for
And
our
thank
work.
you so much for having me here. I hope I'm able to add some value to the viewers.
Thank you so much, ma'am, because it's a great honor to have you because since following you for a long time, it's been great to have you on the show. So, shall we move on?
Please.
Yes. So let's talk about your startup journey. So how did you start your journey as an entrepreneur and how did you start the Startups Club and why?
Okay. Um, for my survival, that's as simple as that because I knew nothing but to do business. And how did I know about it? As simple as that, I had no qualifications. I'm still 10th pass. So when I graduated from school, I decided to do something with my life. I
Okay.
was married,
Okay.
and my father was inventing great products. So it needed a business perspective.
Okay.
And I thought I'll try my hands on it. But then here I am, 32, 33 years down the line, I'm still doing business. I'm helping others do business. So business is in my blood. And I guess I do not know the reason why I do entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur because if I'm not an entrepreneur, I do not know what I will be or I could be.
Okay.
So that's one part of it. Second part of it, why Startups Club? I guess Startup Club is a universe's making. I still call it an accidental business
Mhm.
because the objective of us meeting with entrepreneurs in coffee shop meetings was purely to help them grow. But then we
Okay.
started meeting, and the journey didn't start end there. It started there.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs would meet again. They would call back. We would have more coffee shop meetings, one on one, and we realized that we're starting to become more close and more community. And that's when we created Startups Club.
Okay.
And then it's been history. It's been 7 years now,
Okay.
and we have a very clear, focused vision for Startups Club. And when I say we over here,
Yes.
it's the complete founders, the
Okay.
investors, the stakeholders of the Startups Club, but
Yes.
most important, the community, the entrepreneurs. They have a clear vision how they require Startups Club in their journey as they go ahead. So, Startup Club is more, as you very correctly put, by the entrepreneurs and for the entrepreneurs.
Okay. So, what worked and what failed as an entrepreneur?
I would put that first, what failed and what worked.
What
Because, yeah, always a speaker for what failed first and then what worked. Because you would never know what worked unless and until you fail a few times.
Okay.
So you always have to understand that you fail and then you pick up bits and pieces of lessons from it. And then you continue to keep doing it. And that's when you work it out. So, one thing, if I have to define the journey of an entrepreneur, including mine, in 3 to 4 words, I would say fail, fail, fail,
And
and succeed.
yes.
So that's how it goes. So, what did not work for us? Um, where do I start? It feels like, 10,000 things. But then let me pick a couple of very important things which not only entrepreneurs, but all of those out there in the ecosystem, which, who are trying to build communities. I hope this helps them, because what did not work for us to see a community or a group of people in a singular manner.
Okay.
Most of the time, what people do, or entrepreneurs do, or anybody who wants to start out,
Mhm.
they see as only one sided thing of, this is my offering and these are my customers, and that's how I'm going to plug it in.
Okay.
No offering, no community, nothing works if you see this in a singular manner.
Okay.
It's all the other bits and small pieces around
Okay.
the offering and the end customer is what makes a business successful.
Okay.
So you have to. The one thing which did not work for us when we said, okay, we're going to help entrepreneurs and help them grow, and we started working towards it. That's where we really, as we went ahead, we quite a few times had a lot of difficulties because we did not understand how are we going to help,
Mm.
because each entrepreneur has their own set of challenges which are, you know special for themselves, different for each one of them. So how do we help? So,
Okay.
but when we put together our resources, when we identified our strengths, not just as a service offering, but as our expertise, as our, what do you say, connections, as our investors, as our enablers, mentors, we brought all the resources together. We
Okay.
were able to kind of plug
Mm.
the exact approach of support system that we could offer to our entrepreneurs.
Great.
And that is important. Just one more thing, what did not work
Mhm.
is scaling very fast.
Sorry.
Scaling very fast. We
Okay.
thought, so we are, as entrepreneurs, we're very, very passionate, motivated, and super pumped up about people encouraging us, right? The moment people or our end users encourage us, saying, hey, you're doing great, why don't you come to this kind of city, why don't you do that,
Yeah.
we suddenly forget our line of sight and we start going in directions which we are motivated towards.
Okay.
That something did not work for us. We have to be focused, we have to be clear. Our line of sight for our vision should be very clear. Yes, when people encourage us to come into different sectors, you learn to say no. I think one of the biggest and the
Yes.
strongest asset for an entrepreneur is to say no.
Mhm.
But having said that, build relationships, keep them going, encourage them, help them in whatever way you can, but you do not divert your vision or your plan of action towards that. So these are the two things which did not work for us. We learned from a lot of mistakes. We've done 10,000 things wrong, burnt a lot of money, lost a lot of great people, and realized this. But I hope people who are viewing this are listening to me, are able to kind of at least skip that part and kind of, overcome this before they get onto that slippery slope. What worked for us is the quality and the engagement and the relationship building with your end users.
Okay.
I think it worked miraculously. It worked miracles. In our best times, worst times, the fact that our members, our entrepreneurs, trust us, love us, stood by us in come what may, that has just become stronger. And just to kind of put a perspective to you, today we do not have any sales team, growth officers, nothing on Startups Club, but we keep getting members organically who come and pay to take our incubation services.
Okay.
So that's something which has worked brilliantly for us. So my giveaway for everyone is focus on value which you give to your end users. Always bang right on top there.
Okay. And I will straight get into that how to give the value to the
Hmm.
end customers. So before that, I would like to ask you for a startup. So how actually would you evaluate the product market fit?
Okay, we don't. An
Okay.
entrepreneur or founder never gets to get a clear cut picture of a product market fit.
Okay.
It's a living document, it's a living plan which keeps evolving with time. One, two, your end users, your customers, your paying customers. Let me underline and bold the word paying.
Okay.
The value proposition, the product market fit can be defined only by your paying users,
Okay.
not by the people who are your free users. For example, Varun, if today I tell you that I'm going to mentor you for the next, whatever, 1 year, you'd be happy, you'd be excited. But the way you see value in what I do with that 1 hour with you, how I give value to you would completely change if you're paying me 1,000 rupees per month.
Okay.
Immediately you would look at ROIs. Even if you do not think about it, you'd say, okay, I'm paying a startups club 1,000 rupees. What do I get in return?
Return.
So the right product market fit can be designed by keeping in mind the validations which come from your paid users
Mhm.
and keep evolving it because trends are changing, markets are changing, technology is evolving by the blink of your eyes.
Yeah.
So do not expect your end users to be the same forever. So keep evolving on that and absolutely keep building and developing your product to make it absolutely acceptable by them.
Great. And like you were saying about the value proposition about the end user. So how do you give value for the users?
Just to give you an example, before I started Startup Club, I have been a member in Thai multiple cities. I have been a member in PNI. I've been a member in Head Start. I've been a member in Grind. I've been a member in almost every entity, and all of them are doing brilliantly. But
Okay.
then I had to it was important for me to understand my niche market, and that is the early stage entrepreneurs, the 0 to 3. And for us, the zero means, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, I have multiple ideas, I do not know how to go about it, which one to choose. So that's a zero for us.
Okay.
So 0 to 3 years, and most important for me is the fact that what is it that Startup Club would do for them? What all these brilliant entities are doing some amazing work from multiple years, in fact, more than decades.
Okay.
And that's where we found our unique niche point, and that is we help in execution. We
Okay.
do all this, what others do as well,
Yes.
but along with that, we walk the mile with our entrepreneurs.
Great.
So, coming back to creating that value, this is what we realized when we started engaging with thousands of entrepreneurs on ground through these meetups, through these events, through networking sessions. We realized that there is a lot of opportunities for them to learn from others. There is multiple ways of getting connected now with LinkedIn and events and
Yes.
investors in at every event. Connections is not an issue,
Yes.
but the problem for a young entrepreneur is how do they convert that connection to a customer or a lead?
Exactly.
How do they develop that product? And that's where Startup Club comes in. But it's happened. So our go-to-market strategy has always been for Startups Club, the meetups which we conduct,
Mhm.
where we go to various cities, including Bangalore and all across, where we conduct free meetups, where entrepreneurs come to get some value, and we definitely give a lot of value to them. It's not like, oh, you've come to the meetup, now get started, pay for it. We don't do that. We give a lot of value. In fact, for Startups Club, there are two levels of memberships.
Okay.
One is the moment you attend a meetup in Startups Club, you become our member online. It's a
Mm.
free membership, but you get good amount of benefits. Like
Okay.
you get access to all meetups, you get access to and updates to all the sessions and these online activities which we have. You get added in the Telegram group. So you're already into the system.
Okay.
And another thing, what we do at the meetup is we take critical points of
Okay.
various journey, entrepreneurial journey,
Okay.
and capture it and give them a good value for those 3 hour meetups. So
Okay.
that kind of makes them realize that okay, these people know their shit, right? They know what they're doing,
Yes.
so they can trust us. So the trust gets built.
Okay.
And that first level of go to market is done where they've had the touch and feel,
Mm-hmm.
and then they go about to see that we know what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third step comes about the what is the investment required to get more involved. So
Okay.
that has always worked for us. And so far so good. Today, Startup Club gets around 10 to 15,000 organic searches on Google, and we get people interested to take our services.
Yes.
Our call of action numbers are like a call center, but still we love connecting with entrepreneurs. You call us or mail us, the first thing we do is tell us your story.
Okay.
Tell us your story, because we are people community.
Yeah.
We love people, so we want to understand the people.
Okay.
Now, a little bit of gyan on go to market for entrepreneurs who are watching this, uh, very clearly, is know your strengths. Again, know your strengths, know your resources, because go to market strategies purely requires money,
Yeah.
requires expertise or people.
Mm.
So please do not think you can, just keep putting people for all problems. Then it's old business, it's not startup.
Okay.
You have to look at how you are able to bring together and build that trust and credibility in the market. So your go to strategy should be designed around how much investment you can afford to.
Okay.
Second, what is it that your end users, when they kind of touch and take, adopt your go to market strategy,
Okay.
is that value proposition, your message given to them clearly?
Okay.
Because a go to market strategy where you do not clearly pass the message of the value which you bring is a waste of the initiative, right? So define your value proposition in the go to market strategy. It could be offline or online. The message should be clear.
Okay.
Like, even if you're just going an online organic outreach plan,
Okay.
the kind of messages you put is important, the kind of content you put is important, the kind of outreach which you do, engagement which you do with people is important. So
Okay.
please understand this and design. Yes, there are many out there experts who can help you understand and strategize go to market strategies. And if you need to implement that or understand on the execution level, on practical, when you have to deploy those strategies, what is it that is going to take out of you? And if you need help in that, yes, we are here there for you. An idea is not what gets you a business opportunity.
Yes.
An idea is not what gets you investments. An idea is not what will help you stay, because ideas will keep evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Two things which will help you to get all these things and get your dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur and even maybe a unicorn.
Okay.
It is, one is to completely be focus driven and be aware of the problem you are solving.
Okay.
I cannot insist, as much as I've done this, almost I think in every talks I have said this, that be married to the problem,
Yes.
not to the solution or the idea which you're going to start.
Yeah.
I can give you 100 examples of people who started a business and doing something and have today done completely different things. But
Okay.
if you notice that the problem which they were trying to solve have always remained the same.
Same.
So get married to the problem, understand the problem, and please do not find a solution to a problem which you and your 10, 15 friends have.
Yeah.
Because your 10, 15 friends are not going to be your customers, and they do not define the millions of people who are going to end up paying you.
Okay.
So focus as much as you can, go deep down. Market research is absolutely an important aspect, which at least we in India do not give the much credit which we have to. I cannot, I insist that every entrepreneur who plans to start something must spend good amount of time in market research, both ways, qualitative and quantitative.
Okay.
And during this time, you'll also end up maybe getting potential customers for you for the future.
True.
Keep that relationship going, but do not skip the market research part, because that's what is going to actually help you to understand what problem exists,
Okay.
and if the solution which you have, does it make sense enough that people would start paying you for that solution?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very wonderful statement you have been given. Like that would be a great part. Um how to evaluate and how like marry the problem, not the
Yeah.
solution. So stating that, let's move on. So what's your what's the startup club's funding experience so far?
We've been on both sides of the table.
Okay.
We have funded not in the form of taking equity, but as grants. We
Uh-huh.
have invested in almost 8 to 12 student startups from the prototype state.
Okay.
Very small amounts, but we've helped them from drawing boards to bringing in products out.
Okay.
And out of those 12, two went on to become our incubated startups as well.
Oh,
Incurated, where our own investors, who ran an very seed stage investment fund called Skim, had invested on them and now are in series round.
okay.
So that was the success story from the grants which we kind of initiated for student startups. But we've we've pitched to investors. We are a funded startup ourselves,
Okay.
and we have today 16 investors on board.
Wow.
But our first set of investors are the traditional investors,
Okay.
and the other set who came in were all members who loved us, trusted us, and wanted to join this journey with us.
Wow.
And hence they kind of, you know, uh, went ahead and put in their personal monies and became our investors. They are upright, they are from across the country, and most important, Varun, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our investors, our first investors who
Okay.
came on board with us. And this was around 2015. We
Okay.
were coffee shop meeting at that time. We didn't even have a revenue model.
Okay.
But then they trusted us, loved us, and till date, we've seen the ups and downs. I can tell you that, but still, they have stood by us. And I think Startup Club today is a place where people are connected with each other for the passion, love, and they grow together. And you will see them all, meet them all at our demo day, which
Okay.
is happening in November 22nd and 23rd at Bangalore.
Okay.
I would, before you could kind of go in, I'm shamelessly going to invite every single one who's going to watch this, podcast, to please go to our platform and be there at Demo Day. It's
Okay.
India's first eco-friendly event. No plastic, no paper.
Wow.
All the startups have come together to create an event where everything, even the standees banners are cloth, banners, and the decorations are plants and flowers done by startups, and we have 2,000 attendees we're looking at. Please go about and pick up the passes and be there. It's November 23rd and 24th.
So, guys, I will drop the links down in the description below. Please do check it out. Like, it's going to be amazing. It's eco-friendly, and it's a great opportunity to meet a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So, what are the upcoming upcoming milestones for the next 6 months?
I can tell you what's upcoming milestone for 700 days. That's the Culture of Startups Club. So we have two plans. One is in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. It's time that we bring all these things, these benefits, these offers, these people, these money and the technologies which we have in these larger cities to the
Okay.
entrepreneurs in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. That's
Okay.
one task we have up our plan. And the second task, Varun, it's
Yeah.
very interesting, and I assure you, you'll have a smile on your face when I tell you this.
Okay.
The bigger cities, the larger cities, including Bangalore, which is so-called the Silicon Valley of India,
Okay.
need some cleaning as well.
Okay.
That's our target, because I think there's so much in here that
Yes.
in this crowd, the quality startups, the quality businesses, the quality entrepreneurs are getting lost
Yes.
amongst the crowd.
Yes.
And we as Startup Club are very focused to choose and pick the cherry of the ecosystems
Okay.
and give them a pedestal. to
Okay.
go reach out to the globe.
Okay.
So this is a very specific plan. We are already on the plan. We have started building Startup Club in tracks now.
Okay.
Till this date, 7 years, we've been across ecosystem. We are still across industries, across industries. We are thinly spread across industries, but this year
Mm.
we started our 5 tracks.
Okay.
And this year, our 25 finalists, when you come to demo day, you will see
Oh,
are the cherry of the ecosystem. They are some of the best. And, and we are giving them a stage where we're bringing in the Canadian investors, Indian investors,
okay.
and many other global opportunities for them.
Okay.
And that's our second goal.
That's great. Before we wind up the show, I would like to ask Salma just to share some advice for the new emerging startups and maybe 2 or 3 advices.
Please invest on people. And when I say invest, not money, invest yourself. Invest yourself on people. I can tell you from my own experience, to the thousands of entrepreneurs we have so closely worked with, who we've understood their problems, we've seen succeed and fail, to the people who we have, mentored. Like single-handedly, I can say that of late recently, one of my mentee asked me, how many hours of mentoring have you done? And that hit me because I really hadn't calculated it. So I was just sitting and calculating the number of mentoring sessions in a week, number of years, and all this. And I realized that I have kind of mentored around 8 to 9,000 hours in my career till now. And I can tell you during these number of mentoring sessions that people are the reason any startup succeeds. When
Yes.
we read success stories, when we tell, Apple is so and so, or a Facebook is so and so, and we keep praising the protagonist behind that startup and all that, right? But
Okay.
in the end, what we do not speak much is the amount of compromises that protagonist had to do to bring the right people in the system and retain them, to correct them, to question them, to kind of, filter them. So please invest your efforts, your knowledge, your experience on people.
People.
And second thing is money is important, but please do not forget the fact that as an entrepreneur, when you decided to become an entrepreneur, you indirectly told yourself and the world that you are a creator of money,
Okay.
not a hunter for money. So
Oh,
don't go hunting for money, you create money. So learn to create money before going and looking out for money.
okay.
That's my second advice. Because if you haven't understood to create money, if you haven't understood your revenue model, if you haven't figured your finances in regards to how you will make money, then you are not allowed, or you're not fit, or you're not ready
Mhm.
to go looking out hunting for money. So these are the two advices.
Great. So the best 2 points. So invest more time on people and create money and not hunt for it.
Yes.
Amazing 2 advices.
Thank you.
I will keep that personally because it's very important when you consider for a young entrepreneurs out there. So
Absolutely.
that was Miss Salma Moosa. That's why this community, that's why this story. So it was a wonderful 30-minute session with you, Salma.
Thank
So
you.
I will be looking forward for more and more podcasting series with you discussing on different topics.
Would
And
love to.
so, guys, like I said, I will leave